Access granted.
Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Sierra.
What's up, my friends? Welcome. It didn't transition. I set up some new settings here, and I forgot about the transitions in between, so it's kind of just, it's all right. It's cool. Welcome to the live streams. How's it going? We got some awesome people from the Notification Platoon. They were here early. Let me scroll backwards in the chat so I can give some respects to some of you guys that are here early. Of course, we got VGMR, we got Zaki, we got, let's see, Edward. We've got David, got Evie in the house, Ricardo, Jack, myself for a little bit, Grant, Joe E, Random Clips Military. Also, that's one of our Chaos Army commanders, right? Same with VGMR. Thank you. Appreciate you. Who else? We have some early birds. Luis. Paramore. Jimmy. Awesome individuals. A couple other people. 41 Backwards. T-Dog in the house. Frank Castle. Jay the Vorn. Chrisman Vega, also one of our Chaos Army commanders, right? Boom. Doug the Eliminator, boom. Chaos Army commander. We're coming up on, by the way, I think pretty close to Doug the Eliminator. I think even Chrisman Vega and Alyssa, which I don't think Alyssa's in here. Coming up on, and then shortly after that, probably Jay the Vorn, coming up on getting the Army Star next to their name because they will have been a member for 2 years. They've been members since I started this whole members thing. So it's amazing. So pretty soon, I think within a month or two, we're getting closer to getting to the point where we're going to start seeing a few individuals with that cool little star next to their name because they've been a member for freaking 2 years. Can you guys believe it? So we're here for the live stream. If you are not familiar with live stream, you should be. Subscribe to the channel. That helps. Notifications turned on, that way you don't miss these live streams. But hit that thumbs up. If you have questions, leave those in the chat. I will jump around quite a bit. I will not go in order, I'm sorry. But good news for you. If you hit me up on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. There's a link down in the description box. If you have a question, ask it here in the chat. If I miss that question, hit me up on Instagram. I will message you back. I am not too popular or too important that I cannot take a little bit of time out of my day, either in a day, or 2 days, 3 days, sometime in the week, some point in time during the week, I will get back to you and I will answer your question. So if you can't get it answered here, I will answer it on Instagram. So just make sure you're following me though. That's all I ask. Just make sure you're following me. I got to up that Instagram game. I am way behind on the Instagram game compared to a lot of the other military YouTubers. All right. So help me out. Make sure you're following me. Let's get going. Let's start off. Let's get some questions. I'm going to jump into there a little ways into the chat. We'll be featuring some people. Frank says he's got the same shirt. It's a grunt style shirt. I think it was one of my first grunt style shirts. I was sort of, kind of, I don't know if I guess it's still sponsored by them. They didn't really give me money, but they sent me some shirts as like a hookup kind of a thing. I think this was one I bought. I think I bought this. I don't think this was one of the ones that they hooked me up with. Got Eric saying hello from Austin, Texas. What's happening? Was I an 11 Bravo? I was not. Pretty sure someone probably in the comments maybe already commented by now. what my MOS was, but I was an 88 mic, so it was not. What else? I see, yeah, right here. Someone knows. Someone knows what my MOS was. Thank you for the hookup. What's happening, Sua? How goes it? Chaos, did you hear what happened to Kentucky Ballistics? Is that the thing with the 50 cal blowing up? I heard about that. I have not seen the video. I know he has a video. I saw Angry Cops has a video on it. I think there's probably a couple people that have a video on it. I have not seen it though, so I did not. But I think I know what you're talking about. If that's what you're talking about. When will I release a video shooting my AR? As soon as it warms up a little bit, go to the range. I don't really want to go to the range when it's cold. I mean, it's been warm here and there, but it's been busy when it's warm. So at some point in time, sadly, those videos get demonetized. Not a big deal. I got other videos that make some revenue on the channel that help support the channel, but they're still fun to do. So regardless if I make any money off of it or not, I'll still do a video. But at some point in time, we're gonna go out and zero my AR-15 and show you guys how that zeroing process works, and you can kind of see me zero it. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I'm still any good at shooting. It's been a long time since I've gone shooting. There is a video, an old video on my channel from a long time ago where I went shooting with a friend and we went and zeroed in his AR-15, and it had been a good like 2 years or so since I had fired a weapon from when I did that video, and I still did great, and he was impressed that there was a couple shots that went through the same hole. It was pretty cool. What kind of questions should I ask when seeing a recruiter if I already know what MOS I want? 11 Bravo with Airborne. I mean, it really just depends on what you're curious about. I mean, I don't know if there's really any good like set standard as far as these are questions that you should ask when you go see a recruiter, because I'm sure it really just depends on you personally. What questions do you have, right? Things you're not sure about. Is there some kind of other incentives you're not sure about, some benefits you're not sure about, family situations, your stuff, whatever the case is that you're unsure about that really kind of helps. Otherwise, for the most part, you know, if you already know what MOS you want, you can ask about bonuses if you want. You can possibly, I would maybe even bring up coming in at a higher rank, right? And maybe ask about the Future Soldier program. If you can get in on the Future Soldier program, you might be able to come in as an E2, E3, start making a little bit extra money and not start off as an E1. So maybe ask about like what kind of things you can do, maybe to come in with a little bit of rank like the Future Soldier program, see if that's available if you're interested in doing that kind of stuff. And that can help you out a little bit too. TFR 60, how often does AWOL happen in the Army? I don't know how often it happens. I know like in my time, like as far as like, I don't think I really had anybody in my unit. I think there was a couple times I heard about like after I left the unit where I would stay in contact with some of my friends that I was like, you know, close with at that unit. And they would tell me about, oh man, so-and-so went AWOL from, you know, another company, or even maybe someone in the platoon. I think there was a couple times. But I don't know if it happens a whole lot. Most people know that they're going to get caught if they do so. It's going to, you know, it's not like they're just going to just disappear and be able to go get jobs still. I mean, they're going to be on the radar of people, you know, looking for them. So it's going to be difficult for them to just go and get another job and live life. So I don't feel like it's that common. But I don't know for sure. I don't know what the actual official statistics are on that. David says you're going as a 15 Tango. What's a 15 Tango? Good luck to you. Hopefully all goes well. Edward is multitasking and playing Call of Duty and watching the live stream. Well, good luck to you. Don't die. In your opinion, what is a better path to go down if you are a UAS operator, warrant officer, or officer? I mean, I feel like probably enlisted. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like the enlisted guy, I don't know a whole lot about like UAS operators, the, you know, unmanned aircraft guys, the UAVs and stuff. I don't know a whole lot about them, but I feel like it's the enlisted guys that are the ones that are getting to fly them and doing most of the stuff with them. I think the warrant officers are more of like the maintenance of them and planning, and then the officers are more of the, you know, planning plus training plus other things, you know, kind of leadership stuff. So I don't know. I mean, you would have to probably talk to someone who probably was a UAS operator to see which one probably lines up with that kind of stuff. You can try hitting up people in the Discord. I don't know if I've ever heard if there's anybody that was a UAV operator in the Discord channel, but there is a link in the description of the Discord channel. Sometimes there's veterans in there, people that are currently in the military. They can maybe share some of their experiences, and maybe they know a little bit more. But I don't know. I feel like it's the enlisted soldiers usually the ones that are kind of getting to play with the toys. Wonder if military prison is better than regular prison in regards to the accommodations. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm sure it's probably like equal. I wouldn't see like a military prison being better or worse. I kind of feel like it'd be just like on par and be like the same kind of a thing. I don't know though. I feel like we need music in the background probably, huh? Maybe the next live stream I'll go back to having music in the background when I'm doing these. Because I feel like in between, like when I'm scrolling through here to look for looking for, answer or questions or whatever, it's kind of weird not having anything in the background probably. In your opinion, do you think that the Army is harder or are the Marines harder? I kind of get the feeling the Marines is harder. I've known a few people that are in the Marines and stories that they have told me when we do comparisons from that to the Army and everything like that. It sounds like the Marines might be a little tougher in certain areas, especially to get promoted. Like they are way stricter on promotion, so it's harder to get promoted. That's why sometimes a lot of Marines will switch over from being in the Marines and come over to the Army so they can get promoted. But just some of the things like that happen, I feel like sometimes, like probably the Marines. I get the feeling. What's happened in Badge MW? I don't, sorry, Ricardo, I don't know anything about a 31 kilo. I could not help you. How was my barracks like? They varied. In that video that I did recently about like back in my day kind of a thing, of what things have changed from like, when I was in the Army compared to current day stuff and everything like that. The barracks slowly got better, right? When I first had them, I talked about this in that video though. When I first had them, it was this horrible, big ass room with the bathrooms down the hall. So you just had a big room, 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys sometimes in a room, and you had your little bit of privacy with a shower curtain, with a wall locker or 2, or whatever you could do to kind of get some privacy in the room. If you had to go to the bathroom, you had to go down the hall to go use the bathroom. If you had to you had to take a shower, you had to go down the hall to use the showers. There's a bunch of showers in there. We got a super chat. We'll get to that here in a second. And then it got a little bit better where you had a big room that you were sharing with 1 or 2 people or whatever, maybe 3 people, but it actually had the bathroom and the shower inside the room as a separate piece. So it got a little bit better, and then eventually got better to where it was 2 separate rooms with a shared kitchenette and bathroom, but you had your own separate rooms actually. So that got a little bit better. I've even heard stories now that some of the barracks are starting to come with living rooms now. I thought I heard something about where they have a living room and then 2 separate bedrooms with like a kitchen and everything like that. I don't know if that's true or not. I thought I heard something about that. Super chat. Let's try out. I don't remember if we've done it before or not. Displaying super chats. The hard part was they don't show differently on here. But Holy Hand Grenade with a super chat. Warrant officers are pretty much the translators to the officers when officers need to assess the risk of many factors regarding equipment, personnel, etc., depending on the warrant's field experience. It's true. Thanks for hanging in for the $10 donation. Some of the times, like the warrant officers are the maintenance kind of people, like in a maintenance kind of platoon or whatever. You have a warrant officer, and they're kind of in charge of, kind of like they'll have a platoon leader that's still like doing admin stuff and doing leadership stuff, but then the warrant officer is really the big wig and like kind of overseeing like parts coming in and going out and things like training that's supposed to be done annually getting conducted properly or whatever the case was. The little background disappeared. Weird. And a couple other things. So it kind of depends on the MOS sometimes as far as what specifically the warrant officer does and things, I feel like, too. But yeah, I mean, that's still a pretty good summary too. Holy Hand Grenade gives there. So thanks, man, for the donation. You rock. How can I get E3 if I'm in the Future Soldier program because I got to E2 already and I'm trying to get E3 if I can? I'm not 100% sure. There's like some tasks. You'd have to talk to a recruiter about it. They would know about it a little bit better. I'm probably going to, at some point in time, do a video on Future Soldier program But I'm gonna have to do a little bit of homework on it because I don't know all the ins and outs of it. It used to be called the delayed entry program, and I kind of did the delayed entry program. It wasn't the same kind of thing as the Future Soldier program is now, though. But you'd have to talk to a recruiter to officially find it. I think I've seen that there's some tasks like being able to execute a left face, being able to stand in position of attention, being able to salute properly, being able to identify certain things or whatever, and some different tasks. And if you do X amount of time in the Future Soldier program, and then you can pass that evaluation, then I think that allows you to come in as an E3 or E2. But I would talk to a recruiter to find out the exact ones. If you're already doing the Future Soldier program, ask him. Ask the recruiter, him or her, whatever recruiter you have, and say like, hey, what is there a way that I can come into the Army as an E3 through the Future Soldier program? I thought I've heard that you can do either. You can, depend on how much you do and what you do, either E2 or E3. But I could be wrong. It could be only E2, but I don't know. This channel helped me. I'm speaking from Florida National Guard. Well, awesome, Mr. Mustache. Crazy name. Thanks for watching. I'm glad I can help. Yep. Badge MW says they're new to the live streams. Well, welcome. My fun little live stream where I hang out with you guys and answer questions. If I can't answer your question, hit me up on Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram. I need to work on that Instagram game. Slacking on that. But you hit me up with your question through a direct message, and I'll get to you eventually. If I'm coming in as an E4, will I get treated differently? A lot of times, yes. I can't say for sure because sometimes it just depends on the leadership, how they are, how the other soldiers are in that platoon. But I have often seen yes, mainly with the other NCOs. Like the soldiers, maybe not so much, but the non-commissioned officers, they know that you're a brand new soldier coming into the Army. You're a specialist because you had college, right? And you probably, a lot of times I've heard stories where they still get treated as privates, even though they're specialists, but they know that you're new and you're still inexperienced, so you still kind of get the crappy end of the stick with things and still get treated sometimes like the privates. Sometimes. But I would say I feel like the majority of the stories I've heard, that is the case, compared to stories hearing that no, they got respect because they had college experience and they're an E4. So it might be a coin toss, but it's more likely probably that you're not going to get treated like officially like an E4 until you kind of get a little bit of time under your belt and prove yourself still. Like, I mean, if you can go into it and prove yourself, then maybe that can change things, but yeah. Oh, we got pop quiz. Chris, pop quiz. Name the MOS of your moderators that are in the Army veterans. Well, I remember you're a rigger. I don't remember what the MOS is for a parachute rigger. BGMR was a mechanic. I remember for sure on that one. Holy Hand Grenade is a I don't remember what the MOS is, but a small arms weapons repair or weapons repair guy, right? Who else do we have in here? Evie was not in the Army, but she is pretty hardcore and knows a crap ton of stuff because she's interested in trying really, really hard. Hopefully she makes it and is trying to get into the National Guard. I don't remember what she's trying to get into, though. 68 Whiskey? I don't remember what she was trying to get into. Who else am I missing? Do we have anybody else, admins or mods in here? I think that's it for mods in here. I don't remember. So yeah, something like that. See, I see David Warren saying 14 Tangos parachute operator or Patriot operator. Who was the Patriot operator? Oh, you were the Patriot operator. VGMR was, not Jay the Foreign. So you're a Patriot operator. I thought you were like maintenance or something like that. And then failed on VGMR. Yeah, I can remember. I thought it was maintenance. It was not a mechanic, yeah. And then they got the other ones right? The other ones were right. His Holy Hand Grenade was a small arms weapon repair. I don't remember what it's called, but he fixed weapons. And I knew Jay the Vorn. And then, yeah, it just says yay, gold star. So, yeah, most of it. I just screwed up Jay the Vorns, I guess. What's happening, Tiffany? How's it going? Is it hard to become a machine gunner? Same as what you're saying, right? I think it just depends on being in the right situation. Because it's not an MOS. It's more of like a position that you're in. It's more of like a, hey, I happen to work in this platoon and we have gun trucks and we need someone to be the 240 or the 50 cal gunner for that gun truck, and you might be able to fall into that position. If you don't have gun trucks, then it might be obviously a lot harder, unless you end up being the commander's gunner, the first sergeant's gunner, sergeant major's gunner, something like crazy like that. So I don't know about, I wouldn't necessarily say it's hard, but it's also not necessarily easy. It just is a matter of being in the right position to be able to be a gunner, because it's not really an MOS. It's just really a position that you do if you're in the right type of position to be able to do that. Makes sense? Maybe? I don't know. Got a super chat. See, I'll scroll down the super chat. We'll bring that up. Mr. Madman dropping in with a $5 donation. Appreciate you, rock. 1 out of 10, how hard is basic training if I worked for 2 hours a day, every day for 3 years? I would say if you worked out 2 hours a day, every day for 3 years, I would say basic training would probably be like a 4 for you. I feel like that'd be pretty good. You'd probably be in pretty good shape, depending on how like hard you're pushing yourself, how hard you're working. I wonder why it does that with super. Zachy, where you at? Super chats act weird, man, with this widget. I can't find my mouse now. I got all these freaking screens. I can't find them. Super chats seem like they disappear after a little bit. I don't know why. Weird thing. If Zach, if you're in here, if not, I'll hit you up on Discord, but to see if you know why. But Zach's the guy that made this awesome little feature that does this cool thing. But I feel like, if you're working out for 2 hours a day for 3 years, you probably would be in pretty darn good shape. So yeah, I feel like it would and it also still depends on mental, right? So if you still are not able to mentally handle it, then yeah, it still can make it harder. But physically, basic would probably be like a 3, or it'd be pretty easy, right? It would not be very hard at all. So yeah, hell, I feel like you could do just fine probably working out for a year straight, and you'd probably be fine. There's not like a whole lot of stuff. There's certain moments in basic training that'll be a little bit challenging, but for the most part, they whip you into shape pretty darn good. Zach, so there you are. No, it's something weird with Super Chat once. So if I display a Super Chat one, if I display it shortly after it was given, it'll disappear automatically on me, even though I still have it selected. And then I have to unselect and reselect it. But it only seems to do that with Super Chat ones. I don't know why that might be. Some weird little thing. Not a big deal. I just unselect and reselect it and it comes back. But for some reason, Super Chat ones, because it did it to me earlier with Holy Hand Grenades and VGMRs, I think, too. Or Holy Hand Grenade, whoever it was. They did once, a little weird thing. I don't know. Not a big deal, but just possibly a weird little glitch. But yeah, thanks, Mr. Madman, for the super chat, and hopefully that answers your question pretty well. Have you shot a 240 Bravo and M60 machine gun? I have. I've fired quite a few weapons in the Army. Obviously M4, M16, a 203, which is the grenade launcher. I fired a AT4 once. Throwing hand grenades. That's not a weapon, though. It's not the same. I've done the 240. I've done the M60. I've done the 50 cal. I've never done the Mark 19. I think that's roughly about it. M9, the pistol. That's around it. So I've fired quite a few different weapons. Have you ever had toxic leadership? Yes, I have. It usually was like individuals here and there sporadically. Usually, I never really had any situations where it was like the whole leadership, like the platoon sergeant and the first sergeant and the sergeant major and the company commander, or nothing like that. It's usually like select individuals in there. I've had crappy platoon sergeants. I don't think I've ever had a crappy platoon leader. I've always had pretty cool platoon leaders. I don't remember ever having a crappy commander. I have had maybe 1, 2-ish crappy first sergeants. I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 sergeant majors that were pretty toxic, kind of crappy sergeant majors that I've had, but not a whole lot. A little bit here and there. So you might have a little bit of situations like I had where you had to deal with some toxic leadership stuff. Usually only made it really bad when you had like crappy platoon sergeants, and those are usually the worst ones to have, is toxic wise. I guess too, like if you had like a toxic squad leader too, depending on your rank, like if you're a lower ranking person. Me, I didn't really have any toxic squad leaders when I was a lower enlisted soldier, and then when I became an NCO, then you only had to worry about the platoon sergeant, and I had a couple of those, but just got to deal with it. It sucks. Not a whole lot you can really do about it sometimes, depending on the situation of why they're toxic, but. Been arrested for someone else's doing, and my record has was it been cleared? Did I join the army? If it's not on your record anymore, then it's probably not going to pop up. If it is still on your record, then you might have some explaining to do, and maybe try to get a waiver if that was the case. But I would say if it's not something that's on your record, it's something that's been taken off your record, then it shouldn't matter. I mean, you can talk to a recruiter about it and ask them. But I'd say if they do a background check and it's not on there, they're probably not going to care. Having a hell of a time joining. I don't know what to do or who to turn to. I guess it depends on what the problem is, right? You can, ask for advice from other soldiers and stuff like that in the Discord channel if you want. I mean, ideally, the recruiter is going to be the best person to try to help you. But I don't know if it's the recruiter that's giving you problems or what, and maybe you have to go to a different recruiter station if you have that available to you. But I don't know. I guess it depends on the problem. If I enlist with a degree, am I guaranteed to be able to get E4, or is there limited number of E4 spots for a certain time? Now, if it's a bachelor's degree, so that's the limitation of the degree. If the degree is a bachelor's degree, then you're supposed to come in as an E4. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't be like a slot type of thing. It should be, no, I have the education requirements to be an E4, so I get E4. So yeah, you shouldn't have a problem with that. Shouldn't, I say. How much time we got? 32 minutes. We're going to do a little bit of Army news. All right, we'll come back to more questions, so don't get discouraged. If you have questions and everything like that, I will still get to a lot of your questions. But there was some things I wanted to kind of cover inside of here to maybe talk about some things that are going on in the Army and everything like that. So kind of give you guys a little bit of heads up of some new things that are going on, some Army stuff. And I'm also going to try this out where I'm going to take this and maybe, if it turns out well, edit it together into a video for maybe tomorrow to kind of cover this rather than recording a whole nother video. So we're basically going to do it live. What is that one dude from the news guy says, F it, we're going to do it. We're going to do it live, right? Something like that. So that's what we're going to try to do here. We're going to try to do kind of tomorrow's video, but live for you guys. All right. And we'll talk a little bit about it and maybe get you guys' opinion on it and see how it kind of goes. So we'll switch over, get rid of some of the overlays and stuff. So let's talk about a few things, some new things that I saw today recently, changes in the Army. A couple of things, one being potentially like the APFT coming back, kind of in a way, and we'll talk about that, as well as some more changes to the hair standards, right? Not so great for the guys, but for the ladies out there, some good news probably for those individuals. All right, so first thing is we have a few kind of things we're going to talk about. Let's talk about first the hair stuff. All right, again, doesn't affect you guys, but the ladies, this may be something nice for you. Someone was asking, I don't know if some news had come out about this, and they were wanting them to kind of talk about the new things, but then the Sergeant Major of the Army just dropped this. This is still back in March, so this isn't like new news, but this is the first time I was hearing about it. But just saying, how about I save the trouble, basically to release the news, saying the long ponytail was originally voted against, but after hearing from our soldiers, the panel asked if they could reconsider the decision, working out the details, but 1 to 2 ponytails in all uniforms down to the shoulder blades. So that, I believe, has become effective now. Looking at some Instagram stuff this is from U.S. Army WTF Moments, they're showing some of the pictures here and there from what it kind of looks like. That was not what I wanted. There we go. I kind of skipped around on me from what I was originally looking at. So this shows some photos of basically what the kind of new standard was. But now they're kind of extending on that. And now you'll be able to do ponytails. The confusing thing I hate about these graphics is that some of these do not match up to what they're saying is allowed. Like this one right here, because that's too long, right? I think this one would be acceptable because it doesn't go past the bottom of the shoulder blades. But like some of these other ones are kind of cutting it kind of close, I think. This one might barely make it, maybe. I don't know. So it's a little confusing. This one looks like it's good. I actually saw a female soldier today at where I work on Fort Carson that actually had a long ponytail. Hers was pretty long. Hers was probably like this, which I feel like is cutting it pretty darn close, and everything. So this must have been something new that just has gone into effect. So females can potentially now do longer ponytails and everything now. But yeah, you can't have it like over your shoulders though. It has to stay down the middle of their back and everything like that. You can't have it hanging over the shoulders. So not very clear on some of these images too well. So it kind of gets a little bit tricky. From Task and Purpose, they put in there arguments against ponytails, right? Because I think some people don't understand some of the stuff here, which rightfully so. Maybe if you're not in the military, you probably don't have no idea what the hell's going on. So I saw some stuff in here where they highlighted some comments that people were leaving, I think on the Army's maybe Instagram or something about it or whatever it was. But yeah, things like here, until some terrorist grabs them by the ponytail and controls them and then kills them, right? Well, yes, that would probably be potentially a threat for two things though with that. One, they're probably not getting close enough most commonly in current combat situations for that to happen. It can happen, but it can't. And I don't know, it's kind of tricky. But the main thing probably with that is that I'm pretty sure this is not allowed in a combat zone. This would be what would be in a combat zone to make the helmet fit better. This would not be something that they would be rocking in a combat zone though. So that would not be a thing. The key thing I'm pretty sure, I didn't specifically see exactly if that was the requirements, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be that you can only do this in garrison, which means when you're not deployed, when you're not in the field. So you would not be in a combat zone rocking the ponytail. And that's what a couple of these other questions or comments basically say is that, people are just going to grab onto that, ponytail and attack them and all that kind of fun stuff, right? But yeah, I think the key thing with that is that they wouldn't be rocking a ponytail while they were in a combat zone type of thing. So probably wouldn't have to worry about that. So the other thing we'll talk just real briefly on was kind of like the APFT coming back, right? The Army Physical Fitness Test, right? Not the ACFT, APFT though. That's what we're talking about. The push-up, sit-up, and 2-mile run, but with limitations, sort of. All right. So basically, for those E4s, specialists and corporals that are trying to make promotion points, they're basically allowing you to voluntarily take the APFT because they're still in this transition period with the APFT going to the ACFT. I mean, that was supposed to take effect October of 2020, but delays with COVID and everything else like that have delayed that to where it's not really taking effect until March of 2022. So that kind of affects things. But we're now at this point where there's soldiers that joined at the beginning of COVID and have never taken a physical fitness test. And maybe they came in as an E3, as an E4, and they're trying to make those promotion points so they can get promoted to sergeant. But we're not doing the ACFT for them to earn points for that. So they don't really want to do the ACFT for points, I guess. So they are allowing soldiers to voluntarily take the APFT if they would like to try to get points. For soldiers that are in situations where they maybe already have one on record, but they're trying to do better on the APFT so that way they can improve their points to get promoted, make the cutoff scores. They're allowing them to still take the APFT, and then if they do worse, it doesn't negatively affect them. They'll still go off of that better score. Also, a key thing in there that it highlights is that if you take the APFT because you're trying to make points to make it to E5 to get sergeant, and you fail the APFT, the leadership is not going to hold it against you. They're not going to flag you. They're not going to try to kick you out of the Army and all that stuff like that. It's essentially just a way to try to get more points so that way hopefully you can get promoted if you're in that situation where without that APFT score being higher or having it all, you can't make promotion points because of the way your MOS is. So kind of a thing kind of with that as far as how they're kind of doing things with kind of bringing back the APFT for the purpose of promotion and everything like that. So I don't know. I think it probably helps out those soldiers for that one. The ponytails probably helps with morale. I think the Air Force already does this anyways, so it's not that big of a deal, really. As long as you're not doing a combat in the field, ponytail's not that big of a deal. Of course, the guys still want beards. I still see comments in there with guys like, hey, what about the beards? I don't know, guys. I don't know if you guys are ever getting the beards, but you can always keep hoping and keep bugging about it. Maybe eventually somebody obviously kept bugging them about long ponytails and that worked. Maybe if you keep it up and just keep bugging them about beards, eventually Eventually that'll be a thing. I don't know. So let's see how this works. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the ponytails? About the I forget where I lost track. APFT to help improve on scores and all that kind of fun stuff. I know Tiffany's saying I think the bun in a dress uniform always looks classic. Yeah, probably. And probably looks more professional, kind of in that way, and all that kind of stuff. So, was it all I want at this point is a mustache reg to change? What, to make it like longer? You know, like a longer mustache to be able to have handlebar mustaches? I don't know. I don't know what it is you're actually looking for on that. I thought the point of the no hair now was to help with the gas mask and also transition or tradition. I see. That's what I've always heard, that rumor, right? But there's also things I've been seeing from people where they're saying that the longer beards does not interfere with the seal. I guess people have kind of like debunked that or myth bust that or whatever, and saying that no, you can still create a seal with a short beard. Probably with a long beard, yeah, that probably could, affect things. But they're saying with short beards, they're not seeing any kind of problem and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess that was a myth, but I don't know if officially if it's been a busted myth or not. But so there you go. Fun little thing of getting some news in for you guys. I'll probably maybe chop that up into a video tomorrow. If I don't like the way it looks, then maybe I'll just reshoot it completely. I don't know. If I did leave it that way, then hey, you got to be here live for it. So we'll see. We'll see how that kind of works out. See if I can incorporate that into future videos and stuff like that. All right, we're going to get back to your questions, though. We'll get back to your guys' questions. What are we at for time? We're at 42 minutes. We usually do these for an hour, so that always ends up being like an hour and a half. But we'll see how things kind of go. So let's see. I'll get back into your guys' questions. I don't know what's up with you guys in this question. I don't know if it's the same person that's asking that question all the time about a gold to green program. Someone was asking earlier. I think this person is reduce or whatever is just answering it. But I've said it millions times, but I think it's the same person just keeps on asking the same question, even though I've answered it millions of times. That'd be a demotion. Why on earth would you do that? If you can't hack it as an officer and you want to be demoted voluntarily, you should get out of the Army. Why on earth would you want to reward someone with a demotion and let them stay in the Army? They have failed their duties. There is no good reason why you would have a gold to green program. That would promote failures. I have answered this, I feel like, a billion times now at this point. And it's probably the same person asking the same question. That is not how... Quitting is not an option. You can't just quit. You can probably relinquish... I think Holy Hanger was talking about it, saying something about relinquishing your commission and stuff like that. But why on earth would you do that? I'm pretty sure your commander and your leadership would rag on you like crazy, even if that was a thing that was allowed to be able to do. So, I don't know. Hey, oh, it's weird. Shows up here as Tiffany having the star as if she'd been a member for 2 years. But in the chat, I see that it's just the sergeant rank. That's weird. I was like, wait a minute. Tiffany hasn't been a member for that long, has she? We should be able to have mutton chops and handlebar mustaches. It will help with the intimidation. I mean, I feel like that. I don't know if they would allow like chops and stuff like that. I feel like sometimes the way that the standards are makes it to where you have a weird short mustache for some people, and it looks kind of weird because it can't go past the corner of your mouth. So it gets really tricky. I feel like maybe if you made it to where like I don't know, here-ish, to where I can go a little bit past the corner of the mouth, but not too far, would look okay. But a lot of times you end up with people that have mustaches that are like this. And it's like borderline Hitler mustache kind of a thing, or something really, crazy. So it's always kind of tough. Are shark attacks back? I don't think they're really bringing back shark attacks. I mean, They're not doing it in the same way. They have that whole 100-yard thing. In some ways, it's kind of like a modified version of the shark attack. Just doesn't seem like it seems longer, you know, from what the shark attack was. They're still yelling at you. I don't know. I don't know how things are kind of developing. I don't know if things have changed. I haven't heard a whole lot of new stuff on it recently as far as how much it's changed or modified. Now they're kind of starting to relax with things. When are the vlogs coming? If you're talking about on this channel one, I'm not sure. I did a poll recently. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did a poll about if I once in a while incorporated some vlogs onto this channel, but not necessarily personal vlogs as far as like what I'm doing with my family, more along the lines of a vlog style video that's Army related. So it may not be something that I'm teaching you, but maybe it's something like, hey, I drag you with me to work, right? Because it's Army related. Or I did something that was related to military or Army-ish or whatever, and I drag you along for that in a vlog style video type of thing. Not necessarily like me and the girlfriend and daughter are going off to Target to go shopping, come along with us and see what we buy. Not like that kind of a thing, but more military-ish. But as far as when I'll start doing it, I don't know. I'm not sure what the first one will be. Maybe a behind the scenes to The Office, but I don't know if that should be a video on the DD214 Vlogs channel or if that should be something maybe for here. I don't know though. We'll see. Is 12 mic a hard MOS to get? Is that the firefighter one? Off the top of my head, if it is the firefighter one, like I'm thinking, yes, I believe so. I believe it's mainly because there's not a whole lot of slots for that, because some people are civilians in that MOS, and not a whole lot of availability for soldiers in that MOS. So in that kind of realm, I've heard it's pretty difficult to sometimes get into that MOS, if that's what we're talking about, 12 mic, the firefighter MOS. Hi, I want to be a sniper, so any tips for me? It's tough. Make sure you're really good at weapons qualification. I have a video on it. If you have not seen it, then I recommend going and checking it out. There's a video on my channel that talks about how to become a sniper. It's all about your leadership recommending you. Mainly, you're probably gonna have to be like an 11 Bravo kind of a thing. There's only certain MOSs they really send to sniper school. And you also have to be able to qualify expert with your weapon. So check out that video if you haven't seen it. That gives you a little bit of a heads up about it. Beyond that, I really couldn't tell you too much, but looking at those kind of requirements for sniper school, kind of look at that and see what kind of things you need to do to be able to qualify for it in the first place. See, it's a long question. Let's see how that looks. Bam! Taking up a lot of screen there. 85,000 subs. All your hard work is paying off. I've been watching since you had 10K-ish. No one deserves that fat YouTube money's more. You're an OG helping the next generation of soldiers. Nothing but love. Well, thank you, man. You rock. You're awesome. We're grinding. We're still going. Trying to get to that 100K by the end of the year. Right now, we're on like I've said this to people before, that being on YouTube is kind of like the stock market. It goes up and it goes down and it goes back up and then it goes back down. And so views and subscribers and all that stuff like that, as far as like, you know, how many of your subscribers you're getting that month or how many views you're getting that month, fluctuates up and down, right? You may have a couple of hit videos that makes it go up, and then after that, there's a couple of videos that just do okay, and then it kind of goes back down. So we're right now in one of those dips right now. We're trying a few things to hopefully give us a good spike again, so we get back on track to get to that 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. But we'll see. Tell your friends about me. Let them know. Subscribe. Watch my videos. Holy Hanger is saying my PL knew a major relinquished her commission and she went back to being an E7. So was she originally an E7 and went green to gold though, and then relinquished it back? I really feel like there'd be a lot of negative consequences for someone that did that. I don't understand why that would be something to reward someone with, but yeah, I have heard that it's a possibility thing, but I've also heard that can be a career ender. So you're probably going to be like, okay, let's say in that situation, I feel like you went from being an E7, you got commissioned and everything like that. Maybe you got, became a major, whatever the case was, or whatever the case was, and you drop down to E7. You're probably forever stuck at an E7. You're probably never going to become an E8, E9, because they're going to look at that packet when it goes to the DA for them to decide, if you're going to make it to the next promotion. They're going to see that this person used to be an officer and they relinquished commission. Why on earth should this be a person that is in charge of all the NCOs for a company or a troop, or being a sergeant major or whatever the case is, to be a first sergeant, whatever? And you're probably never going to get past E7. So you're probably going to have a hell of a time making promotions. But I don't know for that for sure. Yeah, there you go. See, like VGMR says, the Warriors ethos is against gold to green. I will never quit. That's, see, can't quit. Can't just go and say I can't hack it as an officer and quit. Against the Warrior ethos. What's happening, Anthony? I'm well. Thank you very much, my friend. Why does the Air Force use officers to fly their planes instead of warrant officers? Unlike the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard. I think it's probably because like Air Force, pilots are flying the planes, the fixed wings, the jets, right? Even in the Army, I think the Army has a few, not very many fixed wings. And I think those people are still officers too, not warrant officers. The warrant officers are helicopter pilots. And I don't know this for sure, but my guess would be that flying a helicopter is probably not as difficult, or doesn't require as much knowledge as flying a fixed wing aircraft. That's my guess, possibly. But even in the Army, they do have officers that do fly the helicopters too. It is a mix of warrant officers and commission officers, like your lieutenants and everything, that do still fly the helicopters. So that can vary in the Army. But yeah, something I don't know for sure if that's the reason, but that'd be my guess, is that fixed wings is probably a lot more complicated than flying a rotary wing helicopter type of thing. Me and my buddy is planning on getting back in, but we got to go back to basic, and we're dropping from E4 to E3 because we were out for more than 5 years. Yeah, that's the tough thing. I mean, even if I think you were out for 2 or 3 years, you would probably still be stuck in that situation where you have to go back through basic, because I don't think they like you being out for more than 2 or 3 years or something like that. And then if you are out for that long, they're making you go back to basic. You might have been lucky, and being out for 3 years, you might have been able to still keep E4. But after 5 years, yeah, you're going to drop back down to E3. Even like if you're E5, they'd probably drop you back down to E4 or E3, kind of a thing. So, yeah, I mean, the longer you're out, it really makes it tough to come back in with high rank. But good luck to you, Chrisman. Hopefully that works out for you. Got to let me know. Maybe we'll have to do something where I'll get you on the channel, do a little video about what was it like, being out for 5 years and then going back into the Army after that long. What was it like the second time around going through basic training compared to the first time going through basic training? So definitely, if it works out for you and it ends up being something you do, you get to your first unit or whatever, make sure to hit me up, man. That'd be kind of a cool maybe content thing for other people in that same situation. They would love to hear the firsthand experience from you, as far as how that went and how, what it was like, and maybe some tips for people that maybe you wish you would have known before going through that whole process and stuff like that. So make sure to hit me up. That'd be kind of interesting. Hi, I want to do SF as a female. How should I get ready for that? If you have any tips. It's tough. I think there's only been so far one female, I think, and don't quote me on that, but I think there's only been one female so far that has made it through SF training, and actually been selected, gone through the Q course, and gone off to an SF unit. So the odds are a little bit against you. It's probably gonna be super challenging. I would recommend getting in great shape. Land nav is a huge thing for both men and women. That you make sure you know how to do land nav, because that's a big one that people end up failing out of SFAS, is because that land nav course that's long and exhausting, and I think it takes like all day and all night kind of a thing. So get good at that, be in great shape, and just have that mentality of not quitting. I think that's gonna be one of the biggest things, probably, is just having that mentality that you won't quit, and you're just gonna, no matter what, push through it and get through it. And maybe you'll be the second female to ever pass SFAS, and go to the Q course, and then make it to a special forces unit. So good luck to you. If that does end up being the case and you make it through, hit me up, because again, I would love to talk to you about it, maybe on the channel, and do some kind of little video about it if you're willing to do so. So hopefully it goes well. Hell, even if you don't make it, maybe let me know. Hit me up, and maybe we'll do something regardless of if you go through SFAS, and you can give your opinion as far as what it was like as a female going through SFAS and trying to make it special forces, and what kind of things you had to try to overcome. It'd be interesting. So make sure you hit me up. Follow me on Instagram. Everybody follow me on Instagram. All right. Well, like I said, we're trying to up this Instagram game. I got to do better with my followers and everything on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram account, go follow me. They're doing shark attacks behind closed doors and no cameras. They could be. I mean, I could see for sure there being some, like, people that have been drill sergeants for a while that are pissed about the whole changing from the shark attack to the first 100 yards, that are just, hey, if nobody's watching, we're going to shark attack the crap out of these next group of soldiers. Screw this stupid 100-yard thing. We're going to do a 100-yard thing too, because we have to, but we're also going to shark attack the crap out of them. So I could see that being a thing too, I'm sure. Going to Fort Benning 11 X-Ray. Do you have any tips? Just stay motivated. Just expect everything to suck worse than anything that's ever sucked before. And hopefully it's not as bad as it turns out to be. And you'll get through it just fine. As long as you stay motivated and keep that mentality of not quitting and pushing through, and remembering that OSIT is going to suck. There may be some moments that are awesome and some moments that suck here and there. But just remember that that's not what the Army's like. So don't think that, oh man, this sucks so bad. Why did I join the Army? This is going to suck so bad. OSIT, basic training, AIT even, that's not what the Army's like. You can't really judge the Army until you get to that first unit and then kind of see things. And then sometimes it's still kind of tough then too, because you could just be dealt a crappy hand and end up with a crappy unit. And then you move to another unit and it's great and lovely. And you're like, holy crap, where was this unit at? Oh, my first 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever the case was. So it's tough sometimes. Not everybody will have the same experience in the Army, right? You could talk to me about my Army experience, and yours will most likely be different. Maybe some similarities here and there, but it's usually you don't have people that say they have the exact same Army experience as someone else. Drill sergeants was trained to yell in your face, as it should be. There were some Army recruiters at my school yesterday, and my friend asked them what branch of the Army they were in. Yeah, that happens. That happens. People that are not too skilled on, the Army is its own branch, and they're like, hey, they just think that the military is the Army, right? So it's a mistake that can be made. I'm sure the recruiter was like, oh my God, come on, man. Just coming back, I used to come here a ton back a few months ago when Modern Warfare Monday was still a usual, but I'm back. Yeah, we haven't been doing Modern Warfare Monday just because the gaming streams were not all that popular. Not a lot of people wanted to hang out for those. Most people don't give a crap to watch me suck at Modern Warfare. That's, I think, another key thing is maybe if I was good at Modern Warfare, maybe it would be a different story, because people would be like, yeah, let's watch Christopher Chaos tear it up in Modern Warfare, but I'm not. I get a few lucky rounds in here and there with like multiplayer where like I'll win or I'll get second place, but for the most part, it's a lot of watching me get killed left and right, and I don't think people necessarily want to come hang out and watch that unless that's your thing, is you like watching people suck because it motivates you and gives you confidence to do better at Modern Warfare or something like that. I don't know. Much love from Ohio, brother 11 Bravo. Well, thanks. Was it Lima Charlie? It's creative screen name. Thank you, my friend. Here you go. VGMR has some tips for you guys. Those of you who want to be snipers, just don't miss. That easy. Don't miss. You'll be good. Technically, that's not wrong. Technically, that still counts as good advice, because especially since you have to qualify expert before they'll even send you. Is the pay in the National Guard the same as active duty? No. I mean, the pay scale is, but what a active duty soldier makes in a month is not is a lot more than what a National Guard soldier makes. Because here's the thing, the pay scale is the same, but in order for you to get that full pay of, let's say, E1, right? Whatever it is, I don't remember off the top of my head what E1 pay is, but E1 pay that it shows on the chart is what an active duty soldier makes in 1 month. That then has to be configured for National Guard and reservists for them only doing 2 or 3 days in that month. So what does that pay equal per day to determine what that soldier is going to make for 3 days worth of work? And that's all you're going to make is 3 days worth of work pay. You're not going to get that full base pay. That full base pay is for active duty soldiers because they're working for the whole entire month. Reserves and National Guard are only doing 2 or 3, or when you're doing a 2-week training or whatever, then you're doing that time frame. So based on how many days you actually drill for is what you're going to get paid for that equivalent of days. So be aware, if you're doing National Guard or reserves, it's essentially like a part-time job. You're probably still going to need a full-time job to be able to pay bills unless you intend to do the reserves, National Guard, and still live with your family or something like that. So keep that in mind. Lima Charlie has the right idea. Smash that thumbs up. What are we at? We're at 49 likes, and we're getting close to the end of the stream, guys. I'm willing to bet there's a good percentage of you guys that have not hit that like button right now, and you should, because we should end this live stream with 100 likes. If we do not end this live stream with 100 likes or more, you guys all owe me 20 push-ups. Keep that in mind. So you better hit that like button. If you are not subscribed, just start knocking out 10 push-ups, 20 push-ups right now. If you hit the subscribe button within the next 5 to 10 seconds, I'll forgive you. But if 5-10 seconds goes by and you're still not subscribed to this channel, you automatically need to start knocking out some push-ups. All right. Can I also tack a leadership role as a sniper? I don't think officers can go to, so it depends on what you're talking about, leadership. You're talking about like an officer type of thing? I don't think officers can go to sniper school. But being a platoon sergeant, being a section sergeant, a squad leader, a team leader, yeah, you can do that. You'd be fine with that. Let's see. Semi-military question. Why are the U.S. Public Health Corps and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration considered military branches? It is? Is that I don't know if that's a true thing. Because I don't think they're considered military branches. I think there's just the Army, Air Force, Marines. Yeah, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force. That's it, I think, right? Right, it's just 6. Am I missing something? So I think that's it. I think those are the only ones that are considered military branches. 6 branches? Maybe off by 1. Maybe there's some one that I'm forgetting because they don't matter as much. I don't know. Here we go. Why is the sky blue? I know there's somebody in the chat that knows the answer to this. This is an Army-related question in a way, right? Not like an official like board question or promotion board question, but people in the Army know why. This is a common question for some specific individuals, really. Mainly for some specific individuals. Who knows the answer to that? Who can answer Lima Charlie's question as to why the sky is blue? I'm looking for someone to pop up with that in the comments. And I'll pop you up on the screen. Let's see who's gonna be the first one. Because what we're about to do here is we're getting close to the end of the stream here. And I'm gonna go backwards in the chat and look for some questions that maybe I passed over, right? Because I'm skipping around so much. And I'm gonna come back to those questions and answer them. Before I do that though, I want to see who's the first person that gets that answer correct. Sky is blue because yes, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I know there's somebody in that chat that knows the answer to that question. Who is it that knows the answer to that question? Come on. The blue light travels slower than the other rays, so you see blue. That's not the answer I'm looking for. That might be the technical question. But that's not the correct answer I'm looking for. Sky's blues because Marines don't like the blue crayons. Nope, it's not what I'm looking for. There it is. Boom. Because God loves the infantry. That was the answer I was looking for. So, Ricardo, the first one to answer Lima Charlie's little fun kind of pop quiz type of thing, right? Good job, Ricardo. You're the man. That is the answer. In the Army, mainly it's an infantry thing. But if someone is asking, why is the sky blue? That's pretty much the common answer, mainly between infantry individuals, is because God loves the infantry. You get the blue cord, blue is the infantry, right? So that's why the sky's blue, my friends. I know some of you guys tried throwing out the technical answer as far as like the scientific reason. Well, it's because of the sun and the beams of the light and the atmosphere reflect off of that. That's sure that yes, that is the correct answer too. But all right, I'm gonna come backwards in the chat. Let's see what we got as far as questions I missed. I'm gonna cover a few of those questions, answer a couple of them, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, whatever the case is. If I find some really good ones that I, breezed over, that I skimmed past, I'll come back to the current location of the chat, see a few more questions, and we'll be in the live stream here pretty soon. So make sure you hit that like button because I still only see that we have 73 likes. And before we end the stream, we need to be at 100. And if we're not at 100, you owe me 20 push-ups. Okay? Make sure you're hitting that like. We got a little bit of time while I answer these questions that you can still save yourself some push-ups and go hit that like button if you haven't done so already. I hate to see you guys get smoked. Sorry, but it's a requirement. It's part of the terms of service when you clicked on this live stream. How it goes. Let's see. Jimmy has a good question. I'm getting out of the Army with a general honorable discharge. Am I still able to make a claim for service-connected health issues? General honorable, I believe so. I think you're only, don't quote me on this, you probably want to talk to someone to make sure officially you have the correct answer, not just taking the advice of some dude on YouTube who is in the Army and still works around the Army, but doesn't necessarily have all the answers. But I believe if it's still general, under honorable conditions and all that stuff like that, that you do still qualify for VA benefits, do still qualify for certain things. It may be a little bit sketchy as far as if you qualify for like VA loans for getting a home. I'm not sure on that, but I think the only people that usually get disqualified from health benefits from the VA is people that were dishonorably discharged. I think general, under honorable conditions, and honorable still qualify for that, and you can still get VA benefits, but still talk to somebody. You'd be able to talk to probably someone at, because is it like medical, or if it's, we don't have to get into the things as far as why, but someone in your unit would know, right? Or someone at ACAP, someone at out processing would have the answer for you to give you the official answer. But I think so. I think you'd still be eligible for that kind of stuff. Good luck to you. Let's see. Looking for another good question. Do I have a split ops video? I do not. That's why you couldn't find it. I think during COVID, they weren't even doing it. I'm not sure if they've gone back to doing it. So that's like the sketchy thing with it too, is that during COVID, they weren't even doing split ops. It wasn't an option anymore because they were so backlogged with people going to basic training that it was too hard for them to offer split ops for individuals. I'm not sure if that's back on track or if it's still kind of on hold for now. The best person to talk to a recruiter. Maybe at some point I'll do a video on it, but I don't really know all the ins and outs of split ops. Yeah, I don't even know, like I said, if it's even back to being a thing or not. But talk to a recruiter about it. You can just call them up on the phone and ask questions if you want. Maybe one more older question. Let's see if we can find one more older one. Don't know if I see one. I think it'll be probably, yeah. Most of these questions I already got to, so I think. At least of the area I was scrolling through. So let's get to the current area. We're going to do a few more questions. We're going to end this stream. We're only at 77 likes, my friends. I'm sorry. It's like you guys owe me some push-ups after this stream is over. I don't think we're gonna make it to 100. Sad news. Sad news. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel down below, and you look down below, and right now you're not subscribed to this channel, start knocking out 20 push-ups. Sorry. That goes. Going back in, I have 15% disability. Is this an issue? If you're going back in, you're not going to be able to collect on those benefits anymore. Like if I don't know what the requirements are for, if you can get back in or can't get back in. I don't really know that part. I don't know if you're saying that you already are approved to go back in or not. But if you're receiving 15% disability from the VA, if that's what we're talking about, they have 15%? I don't think don't they round it? Shouldn't it be like 20 or 10, one or the other? I think they do it in increments of 5. But if you have a VA-connected disability and you're receiving compensation for that, and you go back in on active duty, you're not going to receive that VA benefit anymore. If you do reserve, you can still get that compensation, but when you're drilling, you don't get it or something. It works a weird way, so you can't like double dip or whatever. And some people do end up double dipping, and then they catch it later, and then they end up like taking the money out of your paycheck, and it kind of sucks. So just be aware they should be taking money out of your VA disability if you're doing reserve drill time based on how much time you did. They're supposed to take that out of there, and if they don't, then it's going to bite you in the ass later on. I'm not sure that's what you're talking about, but. So Space Force, what's up with that? They're chilling, doing space stuff, satellites mainly. I don't really know. I know. Recently, I heard that they're trying to get some Army individuals to see if any soldiers want to switch over to Space Force. So that's the thing. Is it a good idea to enlist at 17? Well, as long as you're going to turn 18 before you graduate basic. Otherwise, you're not going to be eligible. You have to get your parents to sign off on it. But good idea. It really depends on your goals. Probably allows you to get a lot of experience at a younger age, right? You're going to already be, 23 and have 4 years in the Army. I don't know, math is hard, but it really depends on your goals. So it's a tough thing to say. For sure. There we go. Cobra already did his push-ups. You already knocked out the push-ups because we're only at 79 likes. I don't think, and we're only probably a couple more minutes left to go. I mean, afterwards there's some music, right? You hang out for the music and jam out for like a minute or two while the music plays as the stream ends, and maybe during that time frame, maybe we'll get to 100 likes before I officially hit the end stream button. But that music cuts off and we're not at 100 likes. You guys owe old chaos over here push-ups. I'm saying. See, there we go. There's another military related one. Who knows the answer to that? What makes the green grass grow? Some people saying they're doing some push-ups. Hey, it's good. What's the morale of soldiers since COVID-19? Rough, I would say. I would say it's a little bit rough in some areas. A lot of soldiers I'm talking to, especially since there's some soldiers I've talked to, they have been in the Army since COVID started, right? They came in the Army early 2020. So all they know is what the Army is like with this COVID stuff going on and the restrictions and everything that's happening. So they're a little depressed, a little bummed out that they're a little restricted on a lot of things. So I think some soldiers are trying to make the best of it, but there's definitely probably not the morale they probably want to be able to have. Put a number 2 in the chat if you have a no push-up profile. Someone earlier was talking about putting a 1 in the chat if you already did some push-ups, and there's a few people that seem to put a 1 in there, but I get benefits if I'm not from the U.S. Well, you wouldn't be in the Army. I mean, if you're a resident, U.S. resident in the military, I mean, if you're illegal, I don't know what your question is. Doesn't make a lot of sense. VGMar has the right idea from the question earlier as far as what makes the green grass grow. also a little infantry thing and just basic training thing in general. Sometimes that was just a thing you would do in basic training. It's good answer though. Still, Sam. Not walking on it. It does help the green grass grow though, but officially, blood. What makes the green grass grow? Do I like Monster Energy? They're okay. I prefer Rockstar, but Monster's okay. One more really good question. I'm looking for one more really good question before we end the stream. 81 likes. I don't think we're gonna make it to 100, guys. I think we're gonna make it to 100. See, this is more officially. I think Lima Charlie has the right idea. Blood, blood, blood. What makes the green grass grow? Do not have one more good question. End it out. Could imagine being in the Navy during COVID-19. It wasn't fun in 2003. Yeah, there's definitely, I feel like it definitely affects morale to an extent. Soldiers are a little not happy that you don't have the freedom that they wanted to have. So, we'll go with 2 questions. See 2 questions we can probably do here, maybe 3. Can you be the National Guard and 31 Bravo, or how does that work? I don't know off the top of my head. If you do a Google search for 31 Bravo MOS, it'll probably show you a link to the Army's website that gives you information about that MOS. And included in there typically is what it's available for, as far as if it's available for only active duty or if it's available for active duty, reserve, and National Guard. So that usually specifies on the website. So I would check that out, do a search, and see if it's available for National Guard or not. There's only really a small handful of MOSs that are not available for reserves and National Guard, though. Do you have to get the vaccine before basics? I'm assuming you're talking about COVID-19. As of right now, no. That is not a requirement as of right now. I'm sure once it gets officially FDA approved outside of for emergency use, because right now it's FDA approved for emergency use, so it is not a requirement. When it is fully FDA approved outside of emergency use, it's most likely going to add the list of things that you're probably going to have to get in basic training, with the, all the other vaccines you have to get that are requirements, and all that kind of stuff like that. So it'll most likely be a thing. This will be the last question. Favorite FireGuard duty story? So FireGuard, Firewatch, all that kind of stuff like that, whatever you want to kind of call it. I think FireGuard is really the main kind of term, I think. But that's really only a thing you really do in AIT and basic. Not very often other units, other than when you have CQ that's kind of like Firewatch. You might have certain times in the field where you have to be on Firewatch because they have like a potbelly stove going or something like that for heater. But FireGuard story, probably for me. I mean, there was a time that was kind of funny where the guy sleepwalking, which is technically not allowed in the Army. It's kind of a thing that can get you disqualified and kicked out of the Army, but it wasn't like a thing I was going to go tell on the guy about. But I remember in basic training, I was on FireGuard, and the drill sergeant came in late at night. It was probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Probably from the club, I'm assuming, because you could tell he was drunk. He had a girl with him, and he definitely wanted to show off in front of this girl. So he woke everybody up while I was on FireGuard, turned on the lights, told everybody to get up. We got smoked for 10, 15 minutes, something like that. It wasn't super long. Went back to bed. Him and the girl he was with took off into his office, and I didn't see them come back out. Of course, my Firewatch was only for another maybe 45 minutes, 30 minutes, something like that. And someone else took over. So maybe after that time, when they came out from, I don't know what they're doing in that office. I wasn't going to go peeking in and try to find out what was going on in that office. I'm staying out of that. So maybe not super hilarious, but it's the best story I can think of that probably comes to mind when I think about stories of when I was on Firewatch. So, all right, guys, so close. We got some music for you to rock out to if you want to hang out and listen to some music for about a minute or two before the stream officially ends. We're at 91 likes. Can we get 9 more likes to end the stream with 100+ likes? Take a look down below. Have you hit that thumbs up yet? If you haven't, hit it. Hit that thumbs up. All right. That way we can end this live stream with 100 likes. Okay. Possibly a video tomorrow. If not, then Monday. I'm probably gonna have some shorts this weekend. I didn't do shorts the last couple weekends, but I am gonna go back into it because I want to experiment with some things. So there will probably be 1 or 2 shorts this weekend as well. All that kind of fun stuff. So if I missed your question, I didn't get to it, make sure you're following me on Instagram. Send me a message on Instagram. I will respond to you tonight, tomorrow, the next day. Less than a week, most likely. I will respond to you and I will get to your question and I'll answer it. So make sure that you hit me up on Instagram if you really have something serious you want to know the answer to and you wanted to ask me and I didn't answer your question or you just didn't get a chance to ask a question. Hit me up on Instagram. You can ask me privately. I will respond to you within a week or less. All right. Make sure you guys check out some links down in the description box. Make sure you join the Discord channel because there's probably going to be some people that are hanging out in the Discord channel after this live stream is over to chat it up with you if you want to continue the conversation with some other veterans, some awesome, cool individuals. The Discord is a great community for that. So go hit that up. You guys rock. You are awesome. 96 likes. Rock out to some music. And if you have not hit that like button, hit that like button so that way we can get to 100 and end the stream on a good note. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out for the live stream. Every other Thursday is when we do this one. So there will not be one next Thursday, but the following Thursday, we'll be back and we'll hang out together and we'll answer some more questions and maybe talk about some things going on in the Army. You guys rock. You're awesome. See you next time. See ya.